Hello, everybody. This is part of the Java with Otava educational series. My name is Jason Duchnowski. I'm a product manager at Otava. I'm just recording this video from my home in Denver, Colorado. Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy during this time. I'm here this morning to talk to you guys about our new offering, the Otava Cloud Backup for Microsoft 365, which I was leading the effort on developing this product. So let's get into the details. Hope you have your coffee. From an agenda perspective, the first thing we're going to talk about is really the gap that exists in Microsoft 365 and Office 365 by extension, what that data protection gap looks like today. We're going to talk about what the Otava solution is for that gap, and then we're going to wrap up with a call to action. So it's actually fairly well known and becoming more well known about the need for protecting Microsoft 365. There's a perception still by a lot of people that that your data when you're moved into the cloud is protected, that you're safe. And to a degree, that's correct. But however, there are additional protections that companies need to put in place in order to, have the same levels of protection as they would if that data was living inside of their infrastructure. And I'm going to speak to a little bit more about what that actually means. This was a survey that was conducted by Veeam in 2019, and it just speaks to what the perception is of Microsoft 365 and the protection that's available there. And many folks, they either rely on Microsoft's native tool, or they simply don't protect their data in 365. Maybe they do something manually, or there's several new options that are coming to light. There's SaaS options, and obviously, Veeam has an offering. That's what we're leveraging internally for, our own use and what we're providing out to our customers. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But there's quite a few people that still believe that they don't need to protect that data. So what this slide is showing is actually the responsibility model that exists for 365. So the way to interpret it is Microsoft is responsible for the infrastructure, and that's about it. So when I say they're responsible for the infrastructure, I mean, hey, if something happens and something happens to a data center, they say that they will, part of their service models that they will keep that infrastructure up and running, whether they fail it over to another site or whatnot. But they're keeping the lights on. From a data perspective, that really falls on you. It's your responsibility to protect your data. So really, they are keeping the lights on for the production data. But if something happens to that production data, let's say it accidentally gets deleted, or you have a ransomware attack, that single record of data is ultimately, it falls on you to protect that. So a little bit further about what protection, it's not a zero protection model for your data when you're inside of Microsoft, but there are different scenarios that exist where, depending on what you do, whether you delete an item and it sits in your recycle bin, or I archive something, or I delete something out of my inbox, what actually happens to that? And there's sort of outlined here a couple different scenarios of how long your data will be retained. Now, for the most part, in any scenario, your production data will be permanently deleted within 3 months. That's a really important metric, because I think a lot of organizations would like to have the ability to recover data from more than 90 days ago. And you think of all the different types of solutions out there that preserve data for more than 90 days, or quite a few. And this really should fall under that bucket, because we're talking about your email information. We're talking about files that you've shared within your organization, talking about communications that you have via Teams, and also documents that you're sharing within SharePoint. So pretty important information for the business that really should be protected. So where does Otava fit into this picture? And it's really across the board, we're providing protection in all of these scenarios for a pretty long time if you choose it. So we have some flexible retention options I'm going to talk about, but we do give you the availability to not only have a copy of your production data, but you can retain it for a long time, maybe to adhere to compliance regulations or maybe some internal organization rules, business rules that have been put in place, and we give you that ability. When we're talking about the architecture, I'm just going to go really high level here. It is a very simple and straightforward solution for you as a consumer. There's two major pieces here. You have the 365 Cloud, which is hosting things like Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and then you have the Otava Cloud. It's a fully managed and monitored, secure, compliant cloud that's running Veeam. It's powered, ultimately, this service is powered by Veeam. So what we're doing is we are capturing data on a daily basis. That data is encrypted in flight, and we're backing it up into our Otava Cloud. Really simple, straightforward. That's all managed by us. And then from there, it gets stored in a data repository. That data repository is also encrypted, and there's a choice. Do you want to store it for 1 year, 3 years, 7 years in that data repository? So we will hold that data for you and let you connect to it so you can do restores when you feel necessary. There are some really nice, robust tools that are available to do a restore. I can search through files like an e-discovery type search, and you can restore it back to 365, or maybe you copy it off somewhere else. The choice is there, and you have that flexibility. I'm going to talk about just a really quick restore scenario. So we're talking about recovering a mailbox inside of Exchange. And I just want to show the power of the tool and how simple that it is. So the first thing that you would do, this is inside of a Veeam interface, is I've already connected to my repository here. So I'm going to launch my restore wizard and put in my credentials to connect to the Exchange environment. I think that's really key, is that I need to be a verified user. And then I'm going to select the mailboxes that I want to restore. It's going to step 3 here. Step 4 is, where do you want to go? Specify my target mailbox server. Maybe it's going back to the same Exchange environment, maybe a different one. And then what do I actually want to restore? Do I want to restore everything from the last 7 days? Do I want to restore everything? Do I want to exclude certain pieces? And then I click restore, and we're done. This solution is really part of a bigger portfolio of services that are offered by Otava. And I just want to highlight a few of them here. The bottom 3 on the list are all part of our, 2 towards the bottom. The Otava Cloud Connect and the Cloud Backup are really part of our Veeam powered services. The Cloud Connect is an offsite data repository, really for any workloads. I have virtual machines, I have data that I want to back up. We can be that repository for you. The Otava Cloud Backup is either a self-managed or a fully managed version. It's secure, compliant, and we are, again, that's backup for cloud environments. You can do simple recoveries. Veeam is a really, really mature solution now when it comes to all the different types of things that can back up and restore. And also at the very bottom, that is a Zerto-powered DRAS solution. So for those workloads that I need to have that quick RPO, RTO, recover into another cloud, either from your premise or maybe between our clouds, we had that flexibility to recover in a disaster scenario. As part of this product that we just rolled out, that was one thing that maybe we didn't mention earlier, is this is a brand new product for Otava, is that we're doing an early adopter program. The program is really designed for anyone. you know, anybody that is either an existing client of Otava, brand new customer, we want to give you the keys and let you try it out. So the first 30 days are free, no obligation. And then after that, if you choose to, you know, become a client. And we would just continue on with our partnership together and hope that you enjoy, you know, leveraging the service. You get a lot of extra attention from Otava because this is a brand new service. We want your feedback to help shape this into really what it could be down the road. It's certainly not, there's a room for improvement because it's a brand new product, but you know, we want to get that feedback from you as a client and help us shape what that perfect end state is really going to look like. So that's it for today. Again, my name is Jason Duchnowski. I'm a product manager here at Otava. You can contact us anytime, just reach out directly or email hello@otava.com. And for the other Java with Otava videos, go to youtube.com/Otava LLC. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.